I woke up while nature was sound asleep, so I could marvel at its kingdom. I strolled through its lush gardens and saw every little wonder up close. Here, you can dance with giants, discover a feast for the eyes, and a feast for the appetite. Walls that hold heroes' stories told me of their bravery, while sacred places blessed my journey. I roamed places that stood the test of time, and others that were there since the beginning.
Every day, I wake up to a feast. Where I can sink my teeth into history. Or shock my taste buds with something new. It's here I learned the color of sweetness, expanded my pantry, and my appetite. Every next bite only leaves you hungry for more.
I just woke up from the time of my life. It started with a major throwback. Then I got to meet the big shots. I found a sweet spot between cultures and hung out with the artsy crowd. I even picked up a few things along the way. After that, things kicked into overdrive. It started with a whirlwind through the streets, an unforgettable eats, a celebration of flavor in every bite, and an epic new party at every turn. The best thing about it here, the good times are never over.
Mabuhay! You're now boarding GPSTV. I'm Aya Fernandez, your online travel buddy. Join me as we navigate our way through your favorite destinations, making sure, of course, to hashtag go safe, go travel. Just a few more days, and we are off to the last month of the year, di ba? Akalain nyo ba yun? Matatapos na ang 2020. Parang kailan lang gumising tayo New Year, di ba? Usually at this point, marami na yung naka-leave, di ba? In preparation for the holidays. Tapos, parang it's popular time to go for a getaways or maybe yung this time, yung mga nag-weekend staycations. But one thing is for sure. We have to remain fit and healthy all year round. So we must put prime importance on our health, whether we're going out on a trip or staying indoors. Di lang sapat yung sa summer, guys. Wag lang tayo mag-workout kapag summer lang. So, to give us tips on how to be fit and healthy for any getaways. Again, for any getaways, hindi lang pang summer. We have invited our sexy online buddies. And when we say sexy, strong is the new sexy. I'm sure lahat kayo mag-agree dyan. So, let's call on our guests. Our first guest, he is an actor and TikToker na rin ngayon. Diba, Mr. Gardo Versosa?
Yes, good afternoon, Aya. I love the way you say it. Sexy!
Yeah, sexy.
Wow. Good afternoon sa lahat.
Magandang hapon.
Mabuhay. Yeah.
Mabuhay po. At pag kayo rin po may kasamang fierce pa yan, di ba? I'm sure everyone would agree. Diba? Our second guest, he is a cluster director of sales and marketing of Marriott Hotel, Miss Christy Carion.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. And join us for an hour. This is going to be a lot of discussion and great learnings from us. Thank you.
Opo, definitely. Ako, magte-take down notes na ako sa mga Fitspiration learnings ko for today. Our next guest, it's a he. He has worked 17 years in the hospitality industry and currently the commercial director of Hilton Clark Sun Valley Resort and a fitness enthusiast, Mr. Francis David. Yan, si Sir Francis na araw-araw lang naman nag-gym, guys. Our next guest, she is a hotelier by heart with a major background in room and event sales. She has worked with Manila Hotel, Ascot, Hilton, and Okada during her hotel experience. Adventurous and competitive in spirit, she believes that if others can do it, then so can you. Miss Steph Ada.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Join us kasi it will be a very fun episode because I think everyone is into fitness and into health right now.
Oh. So, naalala ko lang dun sa sinabi nyo mamaya sige, mamaya na lang. Thank you, Miss Steph. Later, maririnig namin yung mga fitness enthusiast tips. Our last but not the least guest, her blog was made to inspire everyday people to embark on a delicious, fun, artistic, real-life kitchen journey and dining experience. She wants to create recipes with no boundaries. Again, all caps yan, no boundaries, no judgment, no inhibitions, no fear, because our kitchen, we are the rock stars. Yan. The dining diva, Miss Shelly Vargas Calvo.
Hello, hi everyone. I just want to say mabuhay and half a day from Guam. This is Shelly Calvo, the Dining Diva. Hello, Aya, and hello everybody who's watching GPSTV.
Na-starstruck po. Kakala ko po si J-Lo. Miss Shelly pala. Miss Shelly. Anyway, kanina naisip ko nung nag-intro si Miss Steph, kapag sinabi nga raw quarantine, dalawa lang yung kalalabasan mo. Either naging mas fit ka o mas naging healthy ka sa kusina, 'di ba? Yung napakain ka, napag-gain ka ng weight, napag-gain ka ng more fat, more knowledge, more wisdom on food. Nothing wrong with that. So, we are celebrating both here on today's episode. Tune in to the GPS TV on Facebook and YouTube to learn more about tips for worry-free travels and unique journeys to boot. And today, we're going to focus on fitness, diba? Sexy getaways. So, mabuhay sa lahat ng ating guests for today. Magandang araw. Now, simulan muna natin sa tanong na, what do you consider as a sexy Filipino trait? Ngayon, up to you, up to your own interpretations kung ano nga ba yung sexy Filipino trait. Siguro magsimula tayo kay Sir Gardo.
Yung siguro pagiging malambing. Yan. Maraming M's ang mga Filipinos pero yung iba medyo censorable. So, I'll just stick with malambing.
Yeah, sige. Thank you
Mm.
for that. Malambing. How about
Yeah.
you, Miss Steph? Ano ang sexy Filipino trait for you?
I think innate mo sa atin yung pagiging hospitable. That's why I think we are world known for it. And yung tradition na nabubuhay sa atin. Like for example, if we have visitors sa bahay, kailangan complete yung handa like ni merienda, complete po.
Yeah.
So, I think yun yung parang nag-i-stand out for us,
Yeah.
Filipino.
True. 'Di ba? From pagiging malambing to hospitable. Ano naman para sa iyo, Sir Francis? Ano yung sexy Filipino trait for you?
Hello, Aya. I think my line was cut earlier. But when you say sexy, it's something attractive, right? So what I find attractive is actually yung pagiging malikhain, or this is called creativity. Especially with the pandemic now, all the more that we need creativity. Whatever our professions are, we need to find income. We need to stimulate the economic activities of the industries that we belong to. And also in staying fit, we have to be creative because for quite some time, a lot of the fitness centers, a lot of the recreational
Like closed
facilities
down.
are closed down. So you have to be creative. So actually, there was one time at home because I was really looking for weights. I had to lift my sofa every day. So that was like my
Oh my God!
yes, I had to
Sofa.
I had to look for a replacement for shoulder workout. So you really have to be creative. So that is something that I find attractive. It will make you survive and it will keep your sanity.
Napaka-sexy nga nun. May nagbubuhat ng sofa. Thank you, Sir Francis. How about you, Miss Christy? Ano ang sexy Filipino trait for you?
For me, I think being a Filipino, sexy is, we love to explore. Filipinos love to explore. That's sexy, right? As we explore, as we navigate, we like to embrace all the culture, right? Everywhere, like any part of the world, you would see Filipinos, and we taste their food, their delicacy. So we're not just limited to like Japanese cuisine or Thai cuisine. We embrace all types of culture. That's part of being Filipino. We like to explore. So I think that's sexy to me.
Wow. Thank you, Miss Christy. And of course, Miss Shelly from Guam. What is a sexy Filipino trait for you?
For me, the sexiest thing about being a Filipino is actually our humor. Because Filipinos are generally fun and happy. We're generally loving individuals. And no matter what our situation is, no matter how dire our situation is, we always find time to make a joke out of anything, to laugh about things. We keep everything so light. So for me, that's really sexy, you know?
Totoo yan. Okay, masasabi ko lang talaga sa mga sagot nyo, kayo na talaga pang Miss Universe, di ba?
Yeah.
What is a sexy Filipino trait? Ang daming lumabas na mga sagot. Pang Miss Universe pa so, pero unang tanong pa lang yan. Maraming salamat for those answers. Talagang ako, napabilib ako sa inyo. Now, let's continue our discussion. What are in connection to staying fit and healthy, what are the preparations na mga ginagawa nyo before going out on a trip bago pa magpandemya? So medyo throwback tayo ngayon. Paano kayo nagpe-prepare, Sir Gardo?
Usually, bago mag-travel, kailangan din talagang sure ka na fit and healthy and wala kang ibang, kumbaga, masamang pakiramdam. Kasi otherwise, masasayang lang yung trip mo. Kahit na ganong kaganda yung preparation mo and then yung planning and yung itineraries mo. Kung parang at the back of your mind, may naalala kang ganito, may masakit na ganyan, or may parang na-foresee ka na parang tatrangkasuhin ka or ano. So dapat parang bago ka mag-travel talagang tip-top shape ka, ready ka sa lakaran, and then para rin pagbalik mo, na-enjoy mo at na-maximize mo yung travel mo.
Uy, totoo yan. Kayo, Miss Steph, kayo ba yung type na parang may babaguhin kayo sa exercise nyo for a particular travel?
Actually ako, because I've been active na way before pa COVID. I don't do anything different with my routines. I just want to keep my mind and body healthy because just like what Sir Gardo said, if you don't feel good during the trip, masasayang lang din. So it's important to plan your itinerary. That's a must. And then of course sa work, you need to settle things like nagpaalam syempre kay boss. And then properly endorsed yung mga work sa ating colleagues. And that's about it. In terms of the routine, just prepare lang the mind and body. It's part of being fit and healthy naman.
Thank you. Sir Francis, kayo, like, nung wala pang pandemya, how do you prepare before going out on a trip in relation to fitness? Ganon.
That's right. Before I actually travel, I'd like to research about the hotel where I will be staying. And my number one criteria is that I have to see a gym inside the hotel. If there's no gym, like there was a time I think I traveled somewhere in Vietnam, I will research if there are freestanding fitness centers near the hotel. But it's not because I'm there to work out, but I would like to maintain an active lifestyle even while I'm traveling. And also, of course, I have to bring some gym clothes because if you don't bring gym clothes, definitely you will not be able to work out. So whether I use these or not, I will have to include those in my luggage. And I also bring supplements like vitamin C,
Protein.
energy, not protein actually. I can eat a lot of food in the destination, but vitamins like vitamin C, or also I'm not actually promoting it, but I bring like Berocca tablets, like to keep you awake, at any time during the travel that you need that burst of energy.
Ay, ang ganda nung tip na yun. Kasi di ba ako usually minsan nagdadala pa ako ng dumbbell o ang bigat-bigat no. So dapat i-check mo na lang kung meron gym dun sa pupuntahan mo. How about you, Miss Shelly? What are your preparations na ginagawa nyo before going on a trip before pa nung bago magka-pandemya?
Usually, I made sure that I have everything on my hand, and the most important thing is making myself and my immune system super strong. So prior to my trip, I usually make sure I eat proper sustenance. And the number one thing is to really hydrate. I don't hydrate when I'm already in the plane. I usually start hydrating myself a day before because, it's really inconvenient to overload your body with water or juices. And then you're going to keep on going into, to relieve yourself in a tiny little stall that everybody uses, right? So we usually lose about 8% of our water during a long haul flight. So it's imperative that you want to hydrate. Water is really more important than food, diba? But vitamins is also super important. So I made sure that I do 1,000 milligrams of my vitamin C. I actually take emergency, and make sure you have your vitamin D, your zinc, all those stuff. And I think you're good to go, especially for a short trip, like from Guam to Manila, it's only 3.5 hours flight.
Okay.
Actually, last year, I was there probably more than 12 times.
Wow. So I'm looking forward to you coming home here, and we're gonna definitely watch your you can't. Or probably next year. Or let's see, basta. Dahil by the time
I can't wait.
You can't wait. Ay, nako. We will for sure look forward to your healthy recipes. How about you, Miss Christy? Kung naaalala niyo pa po before the pandemic came, paano kayo mag-prepare nun for a trip?
Well, preparation's all about, number one, understanding the destination. If it's like a long haul, like what Michelle mentioned, to me, the most important is that I have to have enough sleep. Because if I don't have enough sleep, my energy level or my immune system will go down. So in preparation, number one, I have to be healthy. I have to lose weight at least probably 3 or 4 pounds prior to the trip because I like gastronomic adventure. So whenever you go on business or leisure, you try to, as much as possible, I taste the locality of that particular destination. So if on business, oftentimes you don't have time to like really, exercise because, toxic, diba? Sunod-sunod ang meetings. But guaranteed yan, when you're back, you gained at least 3 or 4 or more pounds. That's why it is important that before you travel, you have to lose some so that there's still space for you when go out there on vacation or travel.
Okay, yun na. It makes so much sense. O nga, no? So, kasi yung iba, meron akong friends na parang nag-lose weight for the photos. Kayo naman, to make space for those na kakainin dun sa trip. O nga, no?
Because you cannot really control yourself, right? When you are faced with, delicacies or, food.
Oo. Thank you, Miss Christy. Okay yun na. Sir Gardo, kayo po. Ano po yung...
Parang, like, i-add ko lang doon sa nasabi ni Christy. If ever man na like yung, kung kunwari matakaw ka, every time na kumain ka, maglakad ka ng maglakad. Kasi like, minsan, di ba, hindi rin naman natin makikita kung may mga nearby gyms doon sa lugar na pupuntahan nyo. So like, for me, the best way is every time na kumain, pahinga sandali, di ba? O lakad ka ng lakad.
Tsaka for better metabolism din no?
Yes, so and hindi mai-stall yung ano mo, di ba? Mas mabilis yung circulation, di ba? Mabilis siyang mag-burn, and then at the same time, na-enjoy mo yung travel mo kasi like you get to see places na, di ba, kumbaga bago sa'yo, di ba? Here and there, di ba? At the same time, nakakapag-burn ka.
Thank you, Sir Gardo. Yeah.
I'd like to put in on and follow up on what Gardo said, which is a really good point. Honestly, some of my friends, and they do this, and this is such a great way and tip for you to enjoy the vicinity when you're traveling. Yung new place na pupuntahan nyo. Bring a running gear, and you take that time to actually see the vicinity. Nakapasyal ka na, nakapag-workout ka pa, you can jog actually.
Yeah.
So that, and you can do it early in the morning where the hustle and bustle is not really happening yet. So that's really another good tip. Following Mr. Gardo's good tip, diba?
Oh, all in one. And also, coming from the previous episode, sabi nila, wag ka daw mag-music habang nag-run. Like kahit urban run man yan or sa, let's say, rural area, kapag mag-run ka or walking, huwag ka daw mag-earphones. Well, aside from safety, kapag tatawid ka ng kalsada na maririnig mo yung kung may bubusina, mas sabi nila mas you get to be one with your environment. So,
pwede ka rin naman actually makinig ng music, if I may butt in. Pero isa lang. Kumbaga, like, yung tenga, aware pa rin siya sa surroundings mo.
Yes.
Kasi like, kahit pag sa amin, dinidiscourage ko rin like sa biking, marami pa rin yung matitigas ang ulo na nilalagay nila. Sabi ko kasi kahit na mahina lang yung music niyan, di mo alam yung katabi mong biker, di ba, kinakausap ka na, di mo pa naririnig, di ba? Nalalapas na din, di ba, babangga ka na lang sa truck, di ba? Sabihin mo pa yung truck yung may kasalanan, di ba? So kung talagang...
Or baka meron kang pickpocket friend na walking next to you.
Yeah.
Correct. Hindi mo naman malayan.
You don't know.
The best way is like parang kung talagang mahilig ka sa music, di ba? Isang tenga lang. Or like meron mga ngayon na like parang hindi nakapasok talaga sa tenga. Nandito lang siya sa labas.
Kasi yung iba meron pang noise cancellation Nice. Dami ko ng tips dami na nating tips na nabibigay. Now, Miss Steph, dahil pinag-uusapan na natin yung mga choosing a holiday destination. Ikaw, what are your, based from your experience sa tourism industry, for sure nagbago rin yung personal choices mo or yung personal choices mo when going on an adventure or a trip. Ano yung mga factors na kino-consider nyo when choosing a holiday destination?
I think most importantly for holiday, yung culture ng pupuntahan. Kasi sa culture, you get to know everything So when you're there, yung community, yung people, yung values nila, of course, cuisine. Doon mo rin malalaman their typical foods. So, that's the number one part. And then second part, kung sinabi ko, is the food, the cuisine. So, hindi complete yung travel mo kapag hindi mo natatry yung kanilang local specialties.
What do you mean culture? Yung parang kapag nalaman mo yung culture ng lugar na yon, hindi mo pa na-experience, yun yung pupuntahan mo. Is that what you meant?
Yes,
Or-
something like
okay.
that. Yung parang, for example, sa what you call this, sa Baguio, yung kay, yung pupuntahan mo yung nagtatattoo. It's part of their culture, right?
Wangod. Oo.
Yeah, si Wangod. So, that's something that, yun yung parang kailangan namin puntahan talaga.
Nice. Kayo, Sir Francis?
I'm the practical traveler naman. My consideration factor is the convenience and availability of the flight. For people who cannot really plan long out or far out their vacations, like for myself, I get to know, oh, I don't have any work this weekend. So I'll be going to the internet and automatically check what flights are available. So I'm the type who can actually fly abroad or somewhere else, somewhere domestic probably, like even if it's just like for the next day. So I'm after the availability of flight, and also I like going to destinations where I can actually visit my friends. Kumbaga, economical in that aspect, because you don't have to, you can already enjoy the travel part, and at the same time you can reconnect with your friends who are living abroad or living somewhere else in the Philippines.
Akala ko parang dahil sasabihin nyo, dahil manilibre sila ng accommodation. Hindi pala.
Actually, na rin yun. Actually, that's part of it. I think that's also part of their culture. Like when you get to visit the country and you have friends, usually, diba, they will host you. And same thing with us because we're very hospitable.
Oo.
And yeah, that's part of it, of course.
Inaabangan ko, ay, hindi niya sinabi.
Oo.
Kasi ako ganun yung isip ko. Pag may kaibigan ako, uy, baka naman.
Oh, yes. That's
Sir
right.
Francis. Kayo, Sir Gardo, ano yung mga factors na kinoconsider nyo?
Oh, like yung naalala ko lang like yung sa traveling. Yung wife ko yung magaling sa yung nag-aabang ng mga discounts, yung mga doon, yun, mabibilis siya doon. So actually siya talaga yung yung talagang mahilig mag-travel. Ako lang yung taga-bitbit ng mga bagahe. Umaalalay. Yung pag na siya maglakad, ako yung taga-buhat, taga-karga sa kanya, yun. So, na-enjoy ko yung traveling kapag yung may mga kasama, may mga kasamang malalapit sa puso mo, mga kaibigan mo, your special someone. And
Pero
then,
kasi lagi kayong, yung work nyo heavy on outdoor shooting, wala sa bahay. So dahil po doon, ano na yung, paano naapektuhan yung factors na pinipili nyo when traveling? Talagang doon ba sa kasama?
yung sa ngayon, you mean?
Or in general, like because of
Kasi
the work.
Oo, pag ako talaga, homebody lang ako eh. Sabi ko nga, niloloko ko nga si Christine. Sabi ko, parang dapat ang guest yung asawa ko kasi siya yung talagang well-rounded dun sa dun sa topic. Pero kasi like, parang pag sa akin, siguro, bukod dun sa mga makakasama, parang masarap kasi yung may enjoy mo yung ganda, saka yung ambience, saka yung everything na ma-offer nung hotel. Kasi minsan parang yun yung pino-point out ko sa kanya eh. Sinasabi ko or tinatanong ko parang may ganyan ba yan? Ano ba yung parang ma-offer nung hotel? May ganito, may ganyan, may ganyan.
Yes.
Then sasabihin niya sa akin, ano ba ipinunta mo? Yung lugar o yung hotel? Sabi niya.
Uy, pero malaki yung ambag ng accommodation na.
Sa akin kasi siguro parang dahil 'di ba typical ako na homebody, hindi naman ako mahilig lumabas. So 'di ba parang mas nananamnam ko yung hotel eh, 'di ba? Kahit doon ako maggala-gala, 'di ba? Minsan by the pool, 'di ba? Ganyan. Siya, sabi niya, alam mo, ang ititigil mo lang sa hotel pagtulog mo. Sabi niya. And then come to think of it, naisip ko nga, oo nga no. Sabi ko, parang may point din siya eh, pero kasi like 'di ba parang kailangan din mag-compromise kayo. So, limit na lang halfway. Pero basically kasi, yan, kaya parang mas na-enjoy ko yung yung mga hotels. Then like yung sa mga yung parang paglalabas, lalo na paglalabas ka tapos parang doon sa pupuntahan mong bansa, mainit. Sabi ko, ayoko maglakad ng mainit. Sabi ko, okay ako sa lakaran kahit malayo. Pero like yung, di ba,
Mainit.
nakikitata ka, di ba, parang mayat maya, di ba, punas ka ng punas, di ba, naghahanap ka ng maiinom palagi. So
Wapoys.
sabi ko, yun, bukod sa wapoys, di ba, parang pagod ka palagi, di ba, naghahanap ka ng mauupuan, ganyan. So sabi ko, parang, pag sa akin, mas gusto ko yung di baling, di ba, parang patong-patong yung suot mo. Pero 'di ba like parang iba
Cool
yung
ka.
oo, 'di ba?
Oo,
Cool.
oo.
Yung naglakad ka, 'di ba? Relax, comfy, 'di ba?
Oo.
Yung maya-maya, 'di ba? Ganyan ko ng ganyan, 'di ba? Ano ba 'to? Tapos every time nagpi-picture taking, 'di ba? Teka, ayusin ko.
Wet look.
Oo, yun, 'di ba?
Thank you, Sir Gardo. Alam niyo, sa totoo lang, very valid yung, buti nga, nag-open up kayo niyan eh. Kasi feeling ko, spiral of silence kayo. Like, actually, marami kayo na ganyan yung kino-consider. Nahihiya lang mag-open up. Kasi hindi siya sikat na perspective na parang dapat maayos yung accommodation. Ganyan. Kasi maraming for sure homebodies na nagta-travel din naman. And yun yung priority. So, ngayon, guys, may karamay na kayo. Ayan, si Sir Gardo. Hindi kayo nag-iisa. Miss Christy kayo. Ano naman yung factors na you consider when choosing a holiday destination?
All right. So destination, when we look for a destination, for example, we have identified already a specific country or destination. Number one talaga sa amin is really security. Security, number one, security, and then the accommodation has to be in a suitable location wherein you can shop, diba? You can, close to the restaurants. There's a nearest park or there's bars if you want. So it's really more on the convenience of where you are staying, and then just a walking distance, regardless of the weather, Sir Gardo. If it's like summer or winter, you can just go around within the area wherein it's safe and also secure. So, because typically I'm not really what you call the millennials who are really adventurous, like they can buy a ticket right now and then leave this weekend. For us it's really more on excessive planning. Because we really wanted to make sure that wherever we go, we have to stay in the most secured area as much as possible. Thank you.
Oo nga naman, thank you. Hindi, kasi before ka makapag-jog, yung na-mention natin kanina, before ka makapag-walking, ano naman mag-walking ka tapos hindi mo alam kung safe ka o hindi, di ba? Thank you, Miss Christy, for that. Miss Shelly, how about you? We're very curious about what you consider on choosing a holiday destination.
Actually, I am very much in love with the old world. So usually, the places that I go to are very much rich in history. Yung mga 1,000 years old, those are the things that I'm in love about. So the first thing I hit would be museum. And I think, like what everybody spoke earlier, I would do my research first before I fly to a certain destination. So yung hotel for me, believe it or not, hindi ko kailangan ng 5-star kasi tulugan ko lang siya. Usually, I'm out and about from morning till evening, and surprisingly enough, for somebody who doesn't really work out like me, I would pull in 10,000 to 15,000 steps per day.
Wow, that's so much.
Yes, but because I usually tend to book my hotel next to a city center. I love places that are walking cities, para, I love to get lost in yung mga alleys, yung mga type ko yung mga cobblestone na yan. Alam mo, when I go to
you sound just like my wife.
Yeah, so I will get along with her very well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you would get along so well.
I love cobblestones, parang intramuros, parang vegan. Oh my God, when I went to Silay, oh my God, beautiful. Talagang, Gusto ko yung mga structures, yung mga majestic structures. Yun, talaga in love ako sa mga ganon. So, those are the kind of things that pull me all over the world. So, Philippines, we have so much of that. Remember, we have the oldest church in Bohol. And when I went there, I spent hours just absorbing and immersing, alam mo yun. So, it's not just that, but also the convenience.
Yeah.
Yung hotel is, like I said, secondary. Basta medyo malambot, okay na yan, makakatulog ako. Kasi nakotsahan naman ako all the time. But, also, another thing that's very important to me is I usually scope the place. You know, Google is just within our fingertips, right? So I scope the area and make sure na maraming restaurants, cultural activities. Those are the things na mapapatagal ako doon. Na I can spend a long time in a vacation.
Siguro kaya ang sarap. Yeah, siguro kaya rin po ang sarap ng mga niluluto nyo kasi based
sa food. I get my inspiration also from travel. Honestly, when I do my even like my typical sinigang, you know, the typical Filipino flavors, kare-kare, sinigang, you know, I usually twist it around and put a flair to it. My adobo, yung mga iba-iba. So, traditional pa rin siya. Pero, ay nako, ang sarap talaga. I wish I could cook fiesta.
Wala pa rin yung delivery. Hindi pa rin
Kasi nga raw po, from Guam po ang delivery. So kapag ngayon po niluto ni
kaya
Kelly,
pala.
sunod na buwan po makakarating.
Mahal, airplane.
Kaya pala medyo natagalan.
Naka-airplane. Hinbalik, pagbakasyon ko dyan.
Ngayon naman, we will look forward to that talaga. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin yung ngayon. Ngayon na restricted na yung movement and traveling. Ano yung mga alternative activities na ginagawa niyo to keep yourself busy or parang to keep up with the, you know, with the urge to travel? So, would you like to inspire some of what you do, Sir Francis?
Yes, actually, the quarantine opened up new activities for myself that I realized that I really get to enjoy during the quarantine period. And up to now, I actually started to write. I'm actually writing every day. So actually, writing is therapeutic. It has a lot of benefits. And they said that people who are struggling with their mental health, it actually helps that they get to express their thoughts through writing. Ano daw yun eh? It's like 2 points of views. Parang you when you start to write, you get to assess also your own emotions and actually process them. And, you know, it's also a good release, especially like not all the time we can have this digital, you know, sessions where you can actually, our face-to-face meetings are limited. So you can actually express your thoughts through writing. And you know, actually, what's very enjoyable is that the topic is anything under the sun. Sometimes it's just like, I'm inspired about a particular situation, then I get to write. Parang I get to go back to my high school days. It's like journaling, actually.
Why? Ano po ginagawa nyo? Tula? Essay? Or ano po ginagawa? Ano sinusulat?
They're articles. Sometimes they are like feature articles. Sometimes they can be editorials. Gumawa pala akong sariling publication ko. Iba-iba.
Bongga! Bongga!
But sometimes they're just very short. And also, it's a way for me to sharpen myself kasi sabi ko, they said that if you want to be good at something, you have to do it every day, no matter how you're feeling. So actually, kahit na busy ako for the day, sabi ko, sige, I'll just write maybe 2 sentences or 3 sentences. So I also get to, So, yun, I discovered the joy of writing. And at the same time, siguro guilty lahat dito, online shopping.
Ayun pala.
Right. Yun na lang yung mga, ano ko, na tipong, you know, click lang ng click tapos add to cart.
Pero medyo paalala na lang po para hindi rin masira yung mental health pagkatapos medyo double check tayo ng budget para sa
double check, that's right. Pero yung mga binibili ko pa rin, there's still like, I bought like jerseys for the gym, mga ganun pa rin. It's still related to fitness. Pero I've noticed that in the digital space or e-commerce space, the offerings are very unique and personalized. So you're also in a way helping other small businesses that maybe they are not big brands, they're not in the
Yeah.
malls. So
And
I like those personalized stuff.
And I don't know if it's weird. Ako minsan I find it therapeutic when I online shop. Like yung add to cart, tapos magko-compare ka. Yung kasi di ba
I
parang
see.
me time mo yun na ikaw lang mag-isa, nag-scroll ka sa shop, tapos
Oo.
nag-enjoy ka mag-window shopping, or minsan bibili mo
Oo.
talaga. Anyway, thank you for bringing that up, Sir Francis.
I think mas advanced class ka na kasi nagko-compare ka na. Ako nasa add to cart. Wala pa ako sa comparative analysis. Ano ka na? Heavyweight ka na sa e-commerce.
Hindi, ano ko yun, me time, ganyan. Therapeutic, ko, online shopping method. Thank you, Sir Francis. Ikaw, Miss Steph, ano yung mga alternative activities that keep you busy?
Grabe no, sobrang nag-start yung quarantine was March. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So we're right now like 8 months na in quarantine. So siguro na nag-start ako, like for example, yung exercise. So nag-adapt ako to home exercises. Tapos just like si Sir Francis, I try to journal a bit lang every night, like what I'm feeling for the day, kamusta yung araw ko, like parang kinakausap ko mentally yung sarili ko, which is nakaka-help talaga. Kasi lalo na ngayon, I'm practically living alone like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
So, and then I try to go out for buti nga pinapayagan na tayo lumabas. I try to go out for a quick walk lang, like to get some sunshine. Kasi I think it's good for our mental health then. So, yun yung mga bagay na parang kept me stable through this hard 8 months talaga. And of course, I'm gonna go through with the online shopping.
Maraming salamat para sa ating mga viewers. Siguro ang dahilan talaga at yung goal ng tanong na to ay para iparamdam sa inyo na hindi kayo nag-iisa. Meron kayong mga karamay na kahit na mga fitness enthusiasts sila, normal pa rin po silang mga tao katulad yung mga nanonood ngayon. Anyway, kayo po, Sir Gardo. What are the alternative activities na ginagawa niyo to keep yourself busy?
Actually, kahit nung nagkaroon ng quarantine, I see to it na parang pag mag-exercise, lalabas magbabike, ang target kong destination is like any church or chapel. And then kumbaga pagpunta ko doon, magpe-pray ako kahit na short prayer, hindi lang para sa akin, para na rin doon sa buong mundo, sa lahat ng mga tao, yung mga taong special sa'yo, yung family mo. And then, nagbibigay na rin ng thank you prayer dahil, di ba, parang hindi rin biro naman yung lahat ng mga nangyari sa atin, lalo na nitong 2020. So, kahit papano, dahil nag-bike ka lang papunta sa mga churches, nakapag-exercise ka na. And then at the same time, kumbaga parang hindi lang kasi, like for me, hindi lang kasi parang kailangan physically fit. Kailangan, kumbaga, nino-nurture mo rin yung spirit mo. Kumbaga, di ba, yun yung parang magsisilbing maging balanse ka eh. So, yun, every now and then, yun yung I see to it, hindi mawawala yun. And then kahit na pag, kunwari kung lalabas ka or bago ka i-lock in for work, yun, dadaan muna ako ng church bago ma-lock in and magte-thank you rin paglabas. Parang it's a swabbing thing, di ba? Swab in, swab out.
Tsaka ano ka rin, parang na-prepare ka rin before the long lock-in of work. Kasi nandun ka lang hindi ka pwede makalabas So, na-prepare ka rin spiritually. Thank you,
Saka
Sir.
like yung sa lock-in period, hindi biro rin pag kunwari medyo mahina-hina ka. Kasi like, once na na-lock in ka, di ba, kumbaga malayo ka na sa family mo And then parang hindi ka naman sure kung like parang 100% ng mga kasama mo doon, chika mo lahat. So di ba like parang kung ikaw lang, then wala kang kachika, nakakaano siya, kumbaga para ka na rin nagtatrabaho na, homesick ka. Para ka rin nag-out of the country. Parang ganun yung feeling.
Para ka ring nasa PBB. Kasi nandun lang kayo eh. How about you, Miss Christy?
Well, I guess all working moms can relate to me, no? So with since March, I was able to sharpen my skills in the kitchen, cooking, and then baking, and then I'm sure everybody's doing it also. I'm organizing a lot. So they were like saying, there's a KonMari style, right? In folding your clothes, like organizing your stuff. To tell you the truth, I am so busy, juggling work and also, household chores. But, it keeps me occupied and sane at the same time. So it gives me also a sense of accomplishment whenever you see like naayos mo siya, di ba? It's nice and before whatever you can think of, or let's just eat outside because I'm lazy to cook. But right now we have plenty of time to do menu planning. You can organize the healthy choices or food that you can serve to your family. So it's more of like giving more of yourself, giving yourself more time to really plan and think ahead, so that you're keeping your sanity at the same time.
And also when you organize, nasa-satisfy ka rin yung sarili mo na okay, I'm ready for work, ganon. And naalala ko bigla on our previous episode pala, sa mga hindi nakanood, we also tackled on the how to cope up sa ngayong time na to sa ating mental health. And isa sa mga guests namin ay KonMari expert. Tapos na-mention niya nga yan. And na talagang effective siya na with the backup of research, paano na yung surrounding mo kapag it sparks joy. Di ba ganun yun? If it sparks joy, mas productive ka. O mas productive ka sa work. How about you, Miss Sherry? What keeps you busy? Your alternative activities? Kasi ngayon, restricted na yung movement eh.
Super restricted. I for one. Actually, I was a very, very busy on the go kind of person. I juggle so many projects, businesses, nonprofits, and all that stuff. So 2020 was a very big change for me. And I knew that I have to make sure that I am not only physically healthy to combat the virus, right? But mentally, I should be sane and sound. Because the traveling is one big part of my life. So I traveled a lot and I had so many meetings and everything. Super shift siya this year, and I found myself just self-quarantining, staying here. I've actually just been pretty much at home almost the whole year since the lockdown started. And what I did was I started my cooking show. It's in YouTube. It's the Dining Diva channel. Actually, the Dining Diva has already been coined over a decade ago because I was a columnist on a local paper. So what I did was just I started my cooking show, and I went back to my first love, which is painting. Wow. So I have not picked up a paintbrush in decades. This year, I actually painted a lot, so many paintings. It's very self-gratifying, and to be honest, as much as most people are stressed, this would be the year when I am really stress-free. Sobrang relaxed ko this year because of painting and cooking. So it was enjoyable, a different kind of enjoyability. Alam mo yun?
Ang ganda. Sana i-post niyo po yan para makita namin yung mga works ninyo.
I share a few. I post in my Facebook page and my Instagram. Sometimes I would, but not everything. I haven't shared.
It's okay, no worries. So, bukod dun sa inyong mga niluluto, another to look forward to are your works on painting. Your painting. Thank you so much. Para sa ating mga viewers, did you take note? of their routine. Kahit na nakakapagod or nakakatamad mag-workout minsan, meron din namang mga alternative na pwedeng gawin. Kahit ang ating yung mga fitness enthusiast, katulad nyo, ganun din naman. Marami rin pa rin silang ginagawa sa day-to-day basis. Now, let's try to inject workout and healthy eating habits to our daily routine. Sana nakakuha kayo ng mga fitspiration from our sexy online buddies, diba? Tawag nga natin sila ngayon ay sexy online buddies. Now, at this point, GPS TV's journeys will be right back. We will be back after the short break.
fall. No one else can make it this way. And only you can bring out all the best I can do. How to leave a turtle made me feel real good inside. It pushed me up, and I'm about to give up. You're on my side, but no one seems to listen. And if you go, you know my tears can't help but show. You know you've always had my heart. From now on we'll never part. It's your smile, your face, your lips that I miss. Those sweet little lies that stare at me and make me say I'm with you through all the way. 'Cause it's you that fills the emptiness in me, changes everything I see when I know I got you with me.
Welcome back. You're still with me, your online travel buddy, Aya Fernandez. And now let's continue our conversation with our online sexy buddies. And now let's go to know more about the things to consider before taking that next sexy getaway. Ngayon, kanina napag-usapan natin yung mga day-to-day basis nila, day-to-day regular routine basis. Now, let's talk about now that we're under the new normal of traveling and interacting with other people, what are the physical preparations that you do when planning for a trip? So now, mas specific na ako. What do you do on a physical per se? Siguro let's start with Sir Gardo.
Honestly, like kapag yung ngayon, hindi na ako masyadong, although parang dahil nire-require na isuot mo yung mga protections. Pero ako, kumbaga, parang prayers and then basta be physically fit. Kasi like for me, kung malakas yung katawan mo, 'di ba, kahit papaano may panlaban ka. And then alam mo na naman kahit papaano kung ano yung mga like 'di ba parang direct contact na may posibleng mag-ano. Kasi napapansin ko hindi like for example sa coffee shop, nire-require ka na naka-mask and then naka-face shield. And then once na nag-coffee ka na, tinatanggal mo rin siya. Di ba, eventually, airborne na rin yung virus kung nandun man yung sinasabing viruses, di ba? And then like minsan, hindi mo mapipigilan, may excite, magpapatiktok sa'yo. Medyo senior na siya, di ba? Parang pwede ko ba sabihin na, nanay, distansya lang po. Nanay, social distancing, di ba?
TikTok yun, di ba?
TikTok tayo,
Pa yun.
Nanay, di ba? Kumbaga, parang feeling ko, parang like yung sa akin, nire-risk ko na and parang through prayers, basta yung sa akin parang kung napasaya ko yung taong yan, mawala man ako dito sa mundong to, napasaya ko siya. Hindi, kumbaga walang katapat na halaga yun, di ba? Like parang last time, parang ang dami ko na-meet na senior sa isang hotel. And then, naiiwan sa mind ko yung saya nila na yung parang yung naka-TikTokan nila, nayakap mo sila, parang kakaibang ibang cloud9 yung pakiramdam nila. So parang sa akin yung preparations hindi masyadong basta parang pine-prepare ko yung spirit mo, mag-pray ka. And then as I've said, parang whether you like it or not, minsan may mga establishments and most of the establishments nire-require nila yung mask and yung face shield. Pero still parang na yung sa akin parang hindi na ako, siguro parang hindi na ako sold out na parang basta sa akin, if ever man nadapuan ako nung sabi ko parang mawawala man ako, may mga masaya kang napalit na, may mga napasaya kang tao.
Nagawa mo yung purpose mo.
Yes. And kumbaga, maiksi lang yung buhay So, di ba parang tanggalin na natin lahat ng mga negatives, di ba? Basta lahat positive. And then in everything you do, yun naman yung importante, kailangan na-enjoy mo siya. Kasi kung na-enjoy mo siya, happy ka sa work mo, happy ka sa mga hobbies mo, ginagawa mo, kung baga like yung nakakasalamuha mo, yan din yung mararamdaman nila sa'yo. And same thing na parang kapag napapanood ka nila, di ba, nararamdaman nila kung ano yung exude mo, di ba?
Yeah.
Ayun.
Thank you, Sir Gardo. Miss Steph, kayo, what are the physical preparations that you do when planning for a trip like right now?
Siguro first and foremost, yung IATF protocols. Like, I think it depends on the location kung saan ka pupunta. For example, like Boracay or El Nido, I think they're like requiring like a swab test. Sa swab test, negative dapat, of course, yung result mo 2 to 3 days prior to your arrival. So, things like that should be done with research. And, of course, kailangan, before going out, kailangan physically fit and mentally fit ka.
Yeah.
Ako medyo addict talaga ako sa exercise. I would take like 2 days rest before going out for a trip. Kasi of course, rest and recovery is still important. Kasi kapag ini-stress natin yung katawan natin and then we're going out to an exposed environment, medyo bababa yung immune system natin. So, kailangan fully rested ka before going out, and then IATF And of course, sprayers, and kailangan din ready ka with all of your sanitizing tools like alcohol, the face mask, and the face shield. So that is the new normal, I think, in preparation for traveling ngayon.
Yun talaga yung pinaka-checklist no? Yun yung pinaka-foundation dapat talaga. Thank you, Miss Steph, for that. How about you, Miss Shelly, dyan sa Guam? Ano yung mga physical preparations na ginagawa niyo for a trip?
It's basically the same as there in the Philippines. You just have to be fully equipped with your mask, your sanitizers, your everything. So that's given na. Almost everybody knows how to do that, social distancing and everything. But with me, I take the extra step. No, not naman like everybody said earlier, you have to be mentally prepared. Para naman you're not so paranoid na if somebody coughed there, uy, if somebody sneezes there, uy, not like that. But if you have proper gear, I think, and you are disinfecting properly, I think you would be protected. But the added protection that I usually carry around is an extra set of clothing, because whatever I use when I step out or when I travel is I don't want to bring it inside my house. Okay. And there's one tip that I wanted to impart, because most people, when they take off their clothes, they pull it from the bottom and up. So if you have particles that are laying around your shirt, and you smudge it all over your face, diba? So the best way is actually to pull your shirt from your collar and lift it up.
Nice.
So that would be a really, really nice practice that I'd like to impart to everybody. And also slippers, the shoes, the house shoe. I don't bring shoes in the house anymore. And we leave it outside and to be disinfected. We use slippers in the house. So don't bring in whatever you have, all your clothing that has been exposed outside. Don't bring it at home. Because, it's not just about protecting yourself, protecting your loved ones, protecting other people as well, diba?
Yeah, ang ganda na. Very simple, but it says it all. Ang daming maiaambag nun na start with your collar up. Oo nga, no? Talagang, you just have to think about, okay, ano yung may, let's say, may germs, may nadapu, ang possibility na nadapu ng virus, and then iwasan mo. Diba? As well as things sa phone, diba?
I also bun my hair when I step out.
Okay.
Because kakapit yan eh. Especially for us with long hair. So you don't know, diba? Yung mga
So yung iba parang naka-gloves na and all, pero nakalugay. Tapos nagtataka pa rin, hala, saan ang galing? Diba? Nakonwood kung sakali man.
Can you imagine your hair dangling to your face? Diba? Yeah. So I usually bun my hair when I step out.
Marami ako makakilala na nag-positive Kumbaga kahit na
ingat na ingat.
Very careful.
Protection. So, and feeling ko parang with or without COVID, isa sa yung dapat ding alisin para mas maging healthy is like yung smoking. Kumbaga wala akong, well, no offense man dun sa mga nag-i-smoke, pero wala akong nakikitang magiging magandang itudulot yung And parang may pandemic man o wala, be responsible enough na parang kung may nararamdaman kayong kakaiba, di ba? Normal na yung mag-mask.
Huwag ka nang lumabas. Or huwag ka nang lumabas.
The best. Huwag ka nang lumabas, di ba? Kumbaga, respeto na lang din doon sa iba.
Yeah. Kayo po, Sir Francis, ano po yung physical preparations nyo pag planning for a trip?
Basically the same. It's being healthy. And you know why? Because I already experienced traveling that I was actually having an injury and I could not cancel the trip because it was a combination of business and leisure. I was flying to Chiang Mai, coming out from Manila, and there were no direct flights. So I had to go through Bangkok airport and my connection was only 1 hour. And because I had an injury from weightlifting, my lower back ligament, it got torn. So I was wearing a metal brace around. So you could just imagine, Bangkok is a very busy airport. And my connection was 1 hour.
Laki pa nung...
You have to exit a boarding gate and enter na naman another domestic gate. And that was metal. So you could just imagine when each time I would pass through a metal detector, the alarms would go off. And I had to explain each time, this is actually part of my injury, it's treating my disability now. And I had to show my medical certificate. But of course, you cannot expect everyone to be able to read that because of maybe language barriers, etc. So it was very hassle. So that's my really recommendation to everyone. When you're injured or you're not feeling well,
Wag
don't
na lang
travel.
muna. Oo.
Save yourself the hassle. I almost missed my flight, but buti na lang umeffect yung acting ko. It's really difficult. Parang ganon. Diba? Oo, kasi kailangan i-act mo. Baka isipin mo, ano to? Is it a weapon?
Nagpapanggap ka lang, gano'n. Oo.
Lang ako, that's
Oo.
right.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sir Francis, para sa tip mong yan na talagang wag ka na lang lumabas kung hindi mo kaya. Ay, kayo po, Miss Christy. Ano po yung physical preparations nyo when planning for a trip?
Well, basically, you have to be physically well, no? And nowadays that we are already in this crisis or pandemic, one thing I can say would be let's stay committed, because we have different types of protocol right now, especially for cleanliness, right? And with this COVID-19 or pandemic that we are going through right now, it taught us a lot of lessons. Like we cannot just take hand washing for granted, or let's not touch our face too often because it spread out the germs. So we learn to be also cautious about others. Like if we are not well, we should not go out and spread the virus. Or if we have colds, we have cough, we have fever, might as well like stay at home and not go out there and spread that virus. So it's really more on when traveling, you have to be physically fit, like what Francis said. You need to walk a lot. You need to think a lot. You need to plan a lot. And for you to be able to, really maximize your travel is to really be healthy, because nothing beats that, especially like in the airplane, diba? When you were seated with another passengers coughing and also sneezing, you feel like really, oh my God, I hope I don't get sick. Really, yeah, right? So,
Tsaka paano ka makakapag-enjoy kung mag-worry ka rin kasi, di ba?
You're sick and you're stuck in your room, so you will not be able to enjoy your travel. Yeah.
True. So ngayon na discuss natin yung right now, how you guys are, how you prepare for travel. Now let's go to the bottom line. What are the best spots in the Philippines for a sexy romantic getaway that you would like to visit or revisit? Siguro start tayo kay Miss Steph.
Well, actually, I was in Boracay 1 week before lockdown. That was like March, something 2020. I think nakita ko pa nga si Sir Francis around the island.
I was about to say, I was there. I was
You were-
March first week. Yes, I was
Sorry,
there.
Belmont ka naka-check-in.
Kayo ba yun?
Yes, in that area. Yes.
In that area, because I was there, and actually I was kind of panicking kasi of course may mga foreigners pa din around that area.
Okay.
And pero wala pa rin yung parang may COVID na feeling. Ganon. So,
March
kind of
yun simula pa lang eh.
Yes, simula pa lang 1 week before. I think I would love to revisit that island because, of course, the government spent renovation on that area. It was really beautiful. Like, Boracay is really beautiful
Yeah,
na.
and now
Mas pinaganda pa.
Yeah, Boracay is now open to tourists right
Yes.
now.
And mas peaceful na siya compared before na medyo magulo and loud in the evening. Now it's like a perfect sexy romantic getaway for anyone who would like to go there. And of course, Boracay is world known then, so it's one of the pride of our country then.
At saka tahimik na eh. So,
Yes.
mas intimate na, ganon. Sige, thank you. Baka Boracay din ang sagot niya. Sir Francis, kayo po.
Para maiba naman. Actually, kanina when you introduced me, actually, I'm in Clark right now. And
Oo.
I want to promote Clark, not because my hotel is here where I'm working at, but actually right now, in the new normal or during the pandemic, we're not yet in the new normal quarantine category. We're in at MGCQ. It's very accessible and there's just so many things to discover and do in Clark Field, Pampanga, especially for those who are very athletic. Actually, this destination has been voted and has won bilang one of the best sports destination in the Philippines. Because right now here we have, like, if you want to do horseback riding, we have some horse stables here. We also have, for those into motorsports, we have the International Speedway, and then of course we have water sports and these theme parks with very much open very soon.
Mhm.
And then also there's a lot of green. So for the plantitos and plantitas, if you like looking at greeneries,
Yeah.
Clark Field is the area to go to. Even if I'm working here, actually, I'm looking forward to my weekends. And where do I go? You know, you might say I'm boring. I still go to Clark. Like, I explore every nook and cranny here in Clark. Kasi talagang ano siya, it's very accessible. And for someone who may not want to stay overnight, for example, they still want to return to, you know, to Manila, if you're coming from Manila or other parts of Luzon, it's something that you can do for a day drive. And
Nice.
also, syempre, when you talk about culinary experience, it's also here. Syempre, hindi pa gano. Actually, mga fitness enthusiasts, we actually work out because we like to eat. We like to burn it out. So there's a lot of nice restaurants here. And especially like very soon, once the international airport would be opening next year, so there would be a lot of visitations from different countries and visitors to arrive in Clark. So I hope, kayo, I'm inviting all of you. Please
I'm on
visit
my way, Francis.
Sure.
What's
Anytime.
hotel?
Hilton Clark.
Save me a room.
Yes.
Ayan na, may mga
Oo,
customers na.
Totoo. And actually, what's also, you know, surprising at this stage, not a lot of people are aware that Clark can be a driving destination. With all due respect to Tagaytay, and I love Tagaytay,
Mhm.
but you know, once you've been in Tagaytay, you also want to try something new. And then when they get to come here, my friends would say, why didn't we think about Clark? Okay pala dito. Yes, it's
Mm.
so, you know, it's actually nice to not have a monopoly of destinations, but
Yes.
supporting Boracay, Tagaytay, yung talagang all of us coming at arms supporting domestic tourism.
True.
Opo, like what Miss Shelley mentioned, talagang siya.
There were
kailangan-
discussions to have a direct flight before. It was
Yes.
just a thought from
Mhm.
Clark to Guam,
Yes.
Guam, Clark.
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
I actually,
That's
yes, I was actually the wholesaler for Cebu Pacific here in Guam.
true. Yes.
So
And you know-
before
and
the
you know
whole
why?
pandemic, my God, we were so excited about just the
Yeah.
thought of having a carrier service that route would be
Yes.
amazing.
And also, it's less
And-
congested than
Yes.
NAIA. So
That's
that's
right.
that's very good for all those
Yes.
coming from Guam to Clark. Oo.
It's
And
feasible, yeah.
just a little bit of trivia also. The route from Guam to Clark is actually not just for tourists because we have a market for medical tourism there because there's
That's another area to
hospitals
explore.
here.
Yes.
Yes, world-class hospitals with partnerships and presence in Guam.
That's
So, we like
correct.
to
And
fly
of
here.
course, the city within the cities that are being built there are that's going to be a global attraction, and hopefully
That's right.
all these can end, so everybody can move forward with those
Plans.
gigantic projects.
Mm-mm.
Beautiful projects. I hope it happens one day.
Mm-mm. Thank you, Sir Francis, for that. Oh, since napa-glimpse kami ng inyong direct flight from Guam to Clark, Miss Shelley kayo. If you are to go back here in the Philippines, ano po yung sexy romantic getaway
Oh
that
my
you would
God.
like to visit?
It's, sabi nga nila, diba, it's more fun in the Philippines. So actually, there's a lot of places that I really wanted to explore there. But in my bucket list, I really wanted to explore heavily Palawan.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's one of the places I really wanted to. There's so many places there to go to, and I really wanted to explore it with my family one day. And I wanted to go back to Boracay. I have very good memories, many years, year after year memories in Boracay. So I want to revisit the new Boracay. I was on my way to go there after the transition, but I didn't make it on time. Obviously, the pandemic happened. Another place that I would like to explore, of course, there are beautiful resorts in Davao also. And I want to go back to Tagaytay and hit all the delicious restaurants along the way and probably play golf and have a spa. And I know
sarap.
that Batangas, sorry, and dami, I want to do so many things. The Philippines, I don't think one can ever finish exploring the whole country because there's just so much to showcase. Every province has so much or something beautiful and delicious to showcase. Kasi every province, diba, has their own specialty dish. That's another thing. And I'm a foodie, so it goes hand in hand with traveling. Those are the few things that I have in my mind. But you know what? After this pandemic, I will visit a lot of places in our country, because Philippines is just so beautiful, honestly.
Thank you so much, Miss Shelly. Then, napa-imagine ako dun sa itinerary yun. Napakaganda. Mag-relax ka, mag-golf ka, mag-spa ka. Lahat nandito na. So chill. So romantic.
And after the volcanic eruption, syempre, you wanted to help naman also the people that nasalan tayo mga negosyo nila, para naman, support ka.
Thank you, Michelle. I see you nodding, Miss Christy. Kayo po. Ano po yung sexy romantic getaway that you would like to revisit or visit?
A lot of you will probably think, because they will always say Palawan or Boracay. But let me cite a destination which probably all of you have not been there, or you've been there about 10 years ago. You might want to consider going back to Iloilo. I'm not an Ilongga. But then, if you're going to visit Iloilo right now, Iloilo has a different face, no? Iloilo has, it's like old meets new. And then they have this new business park. It's like, the Sentosa or the Orchard Road of Singapore. The Mandurriao area, which is really, really beautiful. And, one thing about Iloilo is that when you're in Iloilo, you can already go to Guimaras, wherein it's an island wherein you can pick, freshly, the sweetest mangoes and Philippines. And apart from that, you can explore all the gastronomical adventure within Iloilo. Like, for example, you can eat a different variety of lapas batchoy. I'm sure you know that, right? And because, although Iloilo is part of Panay Island, it's not as popular as, Boracay, but Iloilo has its own identity, has its own beauty, and it attracts a different market wherein you can spend the whole afternoon and visit different churches, old churches that are really historic, and generally people are very nice and warm. Now that's part of being Ilongga. Yeah.
And I haven't been to Iloilo, but kasama talaga yan sa bucket list ko. Sabi nga nila, basta Ilongga, guwapa. Yun lagi ko nababasa. And not to mention, ang ating Miss Universe ay galing ding Iloilo. Kaya, sana guys, isama niyo yan sa inyong bucket list. Kayo naman, tanongin natin ang ating sexy homebody. Sir Gardo, ano po ang inyong sexy romantic getaway na gusto nyong bisitahin ulit or gusto nyong bisitahin?
Unaan na ako ni Francis eh. I was about to say Clark din eh. Kasi like yung story nung Clark, so 2 years back, we were supposedly, kumbaga, sana na-break yung record at na-set sa Guinness, like yung 5,000 years na doing a one-line moving bicycle ride.
Nice.
So kaya, for me, like masarap balik-balikan yung Clark. And tama nga si Francis, kumbaga parang lahat nandyan na eh. And then napakalapit lang, madaling puntahan.
And tahimik din sa Clark, pansin ko.
Mhm.
Diba, no? Very peaceful kahit very urban na.
Yeah, speaking of tahimik, eto mas tahimik pang lugar na gusto ko rin balikan pero with a partner is yung Roca sa Marinduque. Sobrang tahimik, mahirap magpunta doon ng mag-isa dahil 'di ba, feeling ko nakakabaliw doon pag mag-isa ka lang. Kaya dapat talaga may kasama kang partner.
And kaya siya magiging romantic dahil kasama mo ang special someone, di ba? Kahit gano'n naman lagi.
Okay, may feeling ka na parang you own the island eh. So masarap siyang balikan.
Yeah.
It's like yung Subic, just like with Clark. Kasi like
Malapit lang yun.
oo, parang ako kasi parang mas nag-enjoy ako mag-travel with my bike.
Mhm.
Siyempre, iba yung case nung kay wifey, di ba? Ibang traveling yun. Pero like parang para mawala yung pagka-homebody ko, doon ko na-enjoy yung kumbaga traveling na nakabike. So it's either from Manila to Clark, Manila to Subic, Manila to Batangas. So basta nakasakay ka sa bike yan, na-enjoy ko yan. And like yung mga sightseeing along the way. Pero
Dami
like
yan.
kaya yan yung mga gusto kong balikan ng nakabike is like yung Clark and yung Subic, and then with the partner, syempre romantic getaways sa
Oh, thank you so much, Sir Gardo. Na-imagine ko habang nagkukwento kayo eh. Anyway, thank you. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. But before I let you go, meron po kaming tinatawag na GPS move dito sa GPSTV. So, very simple lang. Pag sinabi ko na, from our sexy online buddies, we remind you to sabay-sabay tayo mag-hashtag sign. Hashtag go safe. Hashtag go safe. Go travel.
Go travel.
Go
Yeah.
see, go
Go
travel.
Philippines.
Go Philippines.
Go Philippines.
Soar high.
Soar high.
Yun.
Soar high.
One more. Kulala di tayo nag-practice. Here on GPS TV, kasama ang ating mga sexy online buddies, we always remind you to hashtag
Go safe.
go safe, go travel, go Philippines,
Go Philippines.
soar high.
Soar high.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Miss
Thank you
Sir
so
Gardo,
much.
Mr. Francis,
Thank
Miss Chrissy, and
you.
Miss Shelly.
Thank you,
everybody.
Mabuhay po kayo. Stay fit and healthy and fresh. Thank you so
Yes.
much, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you to those who join in on the conversation na talagang value-adding experience for me, para sa inyo na nanonood dyan sa Facebook and YouTube na talagang na-take down note ko rin na, right? I-replay ko yung episode para ma-take down note ko yung mga routines nila para ako rin, di ba? Healthy and fit ako, lalo na at this time. Thank you so much to Hotel Sales and Marketing Association or HSMA, the Department of Tourism, and the Tourism Promotions Board for making this show possible. Sana marami kayo natutunan at nalaman tungkol sa safe and mindful traveling in terms of being fit, di ba? Always plan your trips, guys. Na-mention natin yan madalas ngayong episode. And consider the health situation of your family, your resources, and of course, yung location na pupuntahan nyo on top of strict medical protocols yan so that everyone can safely enjoy, including the rest of the people around you. At gaya ng na-mention ni Sir Francis, pag injured ka na, huwag ka nang munang mag-travel. Talagang may papakita natin ng bayanihan sa pamamagitan ng pagiging mapagmatsyag na manlalakbay. Huwag kang magiging dayuhan sa sarili mong bayan. Always remember that. For everyone to enjoy a worry-free travel experience, we have to go safe before we go travel. Kaya ang hashtag natin ay go safe, go travel. Until the next flight, this has been your online travel buddy, Aya Fernandez. Watch out for more episodes and see you only here on GPS TV. Go Philippines! Soar high! Mabuhay po tayong lahat!